get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding. You are so welcome to this special episode of ReVerbs, Wisdom Nuggets for Everyday Life. I am Lionel, your host, and I'm very welcome you are joining us once again today. Today's special episode will be talking especially to parents. I'm still to be a parent yet, but I'm learning, and I would like to share something today with parents. Today, September 23rd, we'll be looking at the 23rd chapter of the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs, it is the wisdom book in the Bible. It has 31 chapters. We'll be looking at the 23rd chapter today. We'll be looking at the 14th and the 13th verse. So I repeat, verse 13 and 14 of the 23rd chapter of the book of Proverbs, reading from the Passion Translation. Verse 13 says, "Don't withhold appropriate discipline from your child. Go ahead and punish him when he needs it. Don't worry, it won't kill him." Verse 14 says, "A good spanking could be the very thing that teaches him a lifelong lesson." You know, nobody likes seeing somebody else hurt. Okay, I would say generally nobody does, even though there are always exceptions to the rule, but generally nobody likes seeing or hearing somebody who is hurt. Nobody likes it. Generally, I say. Now, of course, the exception, but today we're talking about the general rule, not the exception. Now, the Bible says here that don't withhold appropriate discipline. I like the word appropriate discipline. Why? Because in some cases, someone can get just so angry and beats the child so mercilessly that the person just goes incredibly angry and mad or something, and just beats the child crazy. Of which that's not what God is calling us here to do. He's saying here that don't withhold appropriate. I love that part. It says appropriate. So there's what we call appropriate, and there's also what we call inappropriate discipline. But God is calling you and I here to appropriate discipline. Don't beat the child to the level of winning him, because in some cases somebody can beat the child, and because of the anger on the inside, beat the child beyond even the appropriateness of what you're trying to transfer to the child. Imagine your child, for example, breaks a plate, and because of that you beat him until he or she is wounded and is sent to the hospital because of a plate that he or she broke. Don't you think that's way above appropriate discipline? That's why the Bible is calling you and I toward appropriate discipline. Don't let your anger cause you to go beyond the level of appropriateness. If the child has broken the plate, at minimum you punish the child for it. A normal punishment that you will learn, but the point is you don't also let the child go. Because whatever you tell the child, the Bible says, bring up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he shall not depart from it. I remember when much younger, my parents really beat us. I have to confess, though, that I wasn't beaten that much by my parents because they were getting a little bit kind of old and tired. So the person really suffered their punishment and their beatings with my elder brothers and sisters. I didn't suffer it that much as they did. That's the truth. But the point is, I was beaten a little bit, and with that, I learned my lessons. I was beaten in a case where I'd done something which I knew was wrong. But of course, when you're a child, you always do something. So I still did it, and I was beaten. And because of that, I can assure you, I never ever did it. Why? Because I didn't want to be beaten again. That's the point. To the child's brain to you, it may not be logic, but to the child's brain, it's so logical. It's like, I touched this, they spanked me. So it means if I touch this again next time, they'll spank me. If you do it the first time, the second time, the third time, it really starts in the child's brain that when I touch this, they spank me. So it means if I don't touch this, they won't spank me. Okay then. So he or she will not do it. Simple. But to you and I, it may be different because we are feeling the pain. We're not seeing because at the time you are only seeing as far as your nose, you're not seeing as far as the reality of the thing is, which is that when you're beating the child, it's not for your own sake, it's just because you're preparing the child for tomorrow. That's the point God is calling you and I to. God is calling you and I to a point where we correct our children, but we'll correct them in the right way, not too much, not too little, just the right way. That's exactly what God is calling you and I to do. He says a good spanking could be the very thing that would teach them a lifelong lesson. And you don't want your child to miss this opportunity to have a lifelong lesson. As human beings, we learn most when we're younger. The more we get older, the harder it is for us to learn. And the particular age, I believe when you have crossed the 12 years threshold, or I would say maybe a 12 years threshold, for us to learn at that age is really, really, really difficult. I believe I'll not say impossible, but really difficult for us to learn at the particular age, like 13 years or something. So God is calling you and I to that level. He says, my son, my daughter, as a parent, you have to correct your child. Don't think that it will kill them. It will not kill them. It will never kill them. You're actually doing something that may save them for the rest of their life. You don't know, because by beating, they're learning something. They're learning how to be disciplined. And even God is calling us to a life of discipline. You can have a life of where you are just free to do whatever you want. That's what the devil wants. His logo is do what thou wilt. That is what the one Satanist wrote a Bible, a satanic Bible, and the title, the first page, he said, do what thou wilt. So as long as you let a child do what he or she wants or wills, you are letting him have his way, you're not correcting him, you are preparing for a very, very disastrous future. Jesus Christ loves you so much. It's the reason he came, bled, and died for you and I on the cross of Calvary. He is coming back so very soon. Are you ready for his return? You are blessed in the city and blessed in the field, blessed coming in and blessed going out. Stay so blessed. Bye-bye.